Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Today we are going to be talking about the new release from Charlotte Tilbury, her Starry Eyes to Hypnotise limited edition palette. This palette is, first of all, beautifully packaged, so gorgeous. And it's got 4 sets of 3 shadows for a total of 4 looks. Now, of course, just because this is the way Charlotte has laid it out doesn't mean it's the way you have to use it. This palette sells for $75 and it's available from her website. I got mine at Nordstrom. I haven't seen it at Sephora yet. And it is limited edition. It was released, I believe, mid to early September and sold out quickly. I say that with air quotes because, gosh, it came back within a few weeks. And what that says to me is that they released a set number and then held it for a couple weeks and then said, oh, it's back in stock, because quite frankly, I don't believe that you can get this stuff manufactured that quickly. Anyway, I will say though that it is a limited edition, and so if this is something you're interested in, you might want to jump on it. If you think that the $75 price point is a little steep, and you know, it is, it's a luxury product, but with the holidays coming up, you might want to let somebody know that it's something you'd like on your wish list and maybe encourage them to pick it up before it sells out again. This palette is very heavy in shimmers. There are only 3 matte shades in the whole one. The black, the cranberry color, and then sort of a tan color. The rest are shimmers, and I would say in the Seduce Glow, those are just downright glittery. Let's go ahead and swatch the shades that she lays out. So here is Happy Glow, and with all of hers, she prescribes a prime, enhance, and smoke. In Love Glow, that's the look I'm wearing right now, and that is, I really love it. It's a beautiful, warm, in the corals and cranberry shades. I just think it's really pretty. The Dream Glow doesn't look like much in the pans. I liked it a lot better on. That's another great day to evening look, and then Seduce Glow is just all out glam. No two questions about that. So let's see how I got this look, and then I'm going to show you the other 3 looks out of the palette. Maybe you can tell from my shiny face that I don't have any of my makeup on. I'm not sure if there's going to be fallout from this palette, and so I don't want to take any chances, and I did my morning face care routine, and that's it. I am going to walk you step by step through the first look, which in this case is going to be the Love Glow look. And then for the other 3, I will show you, but it's not going to be narrated, and I'll probably speed it up a little bit. So in this palette, like many of her other palettes, none of the colors have names or numbers, and they're simply listed as prime, enhance, and smoke. So here on Love Glow, this is the prime color, and both the prime and enhance are, I'm going to say that they're shimmer shades. For the priming, I am taking a somewhat large and medium density brush. You see there's some flexibility to it, but it also has some real density to it. And I am just going to load up sort of the top half of one side of this brush. Goodness sakes there. All right, so really loading up that. And now most of it, I want most of this down on my lid. So you can see I'm really working it in, using a little extra pressure. And now that most of that color is deposited there, now I'm going to work it up all the way to the brow bone. All right, and so I hope you can see that it's a little bit denser down here and it shears out as it goes up. And now I will do the same thing for the other side. All right, I should also mention that I did prime my eyelids with a MAC paint pot before I started this. All right, now for the Enhance, which is kind of this mid shade. Still, it's a shimmer. Charlotte likes her shimmers, and I will say I don't mind that. It pushes me outside my comfort zone a little bit, which is sometimes a fun place to go. Now I've got some options for applying that Enhance shade, which I'm going to put in my crease. This is a MAC 221 brush, and you can see it's kind of a medium density, and it's a little bit smaller. And that's nice if I want to keep the color in one area or really control where it's going. Another option I've got, this is a BK Beauty, the 202 brush. And if you can look, the bristles are shorter around the outside than they are in the middle. And they're densely packed, so again, it's not super fluffy. This is going to pick up a lot of pigment, a lot of shadow, but because the brush size is quite a bit bigger than the 221, it is going to lay down a wider patch of color. Compare this one, the medium to thick density, kind of stiff one, to the 201, which is a fluffier brush. You can kind of see that. And the bristles are all the same length. And this is really more what I would use for blending. It's a little softer. It's got more room to move it around. It's not going to be so focused on one area. So I think I am going to try the smaller one, the MAC 221 in the Enhance. And I am going to work that pigment all the way around the brush, tap it off, start out here, right at that kind of natural divot between where the eyeball curves back and the brow bone comes up. And just with the windshield wiper motions, and I start on the outside and now I'm going to come in to the inner crease and pull that color so that it's concentrated on the outside, but I am pulling it to the inside now. All right. The shimmer on shimmer is not really giving me much gradation. So I think I'm going to go back in with a little bit more. And again, starting at the outside and windshield wipering in. Ah, there we go. I think that was the trick. I didn't quite pick up enough color the first time. And you can see now that I've deposited most of it in my actual crease that I kind of go up a little bit higher to kind of make a faux crease to lift my eye a bit. Yes, now we can definitely see the difference between that priming color and the enhancing color. So I'm going to really try to build some up on the brush this time and do the other side. All right, and now it is time for the smoke color, and that is the one matte in this Love Glow. And I have a MAC 217 brush. This is a pretty flat brush, and I'm going to say it's pretty stiff with medium density. Again, it's going to pick up a good amount of shadow. and give me real control where I'm putting it down. And so I'm just going to load color on one side of this. And I'm going to start down right at the outside of my lash line. What I'm going to do is little back and forth strokes up to that crease socket. So I'm starting out here and just little back and forth, like mini windshield wiper, but this time traveling up and down. Now I'm back down here at my lash line. I'm going to work that into the lash line a little bit and then go back up and work it in a little bit to the crease. And this is giving me that outer C or 7, really just doing, adding some weight out here. And now this is where, once we've got the color down, we want to blend it. So I'm using that fluffier brush for the blending. Okay, and I'm checking, and I'm feeling like I want a little bit more depth out here on the outside, so I'm going to pick up some more of that and work that out here. There, now you can really see that laid it down quite heavily. So I think what I'm finding is that when even though I feel like I'm picking up a lot of pigment, I'm not. So, and now I'm just buffing that in, blending it a bit so it's not so harsh. And that, look at how much more depth and kind of drama from this look I'm getting. I'm not really seeing any fallout from these 3 shades, knock on wood. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side now. And I'm going to see if I can't really load up the brush. There is quite a bit of kick up in the pan. You can see that. But it's not falling out on my face. And yes, no big surprise, it worked a lot better to pick up a bunch of pigment on the brush. And again, we'll blend. Okay. Now, in doing all of that, I really want my eyelids to pop a bit more, so I'm going to go into that prime color with my finger this time and just go back over the movable part of my lid, pretty much just the inner 2/3. You can see how that picked up that brightness there. Now I am trying to just stay in these 3 colors that are the Love Glow look. I think if I were just doing this for going out, I would probably pick up this little bit of gold from Dream Glow and go over that to make it pop even more. But this is a really beautiful kind of red coral look. And of course right now it is screaming because I don't have any other makeup on my face. Let's go ahead and take care of the lower lash line and the upper lash line. Now, I am going to come over here to this black out of this Seduce Glow look because that is a great color for working into my lash line to help give a little bit more definition there without taking up space on the movable part of my lid. Okay, now I notice on this side when I put the black on the upper lash line, a lot of it transferred to the lower lash line, which is not really, oh, and now, okay, just kind of being a klutz today. I will clean that up. It's a good thing I didn't put any other makeup on right now. I'm going to do this lower lash line and I'll take care of this off camera. I am picking up a little smudger brush. This one is a Morphe 508, and I am going to go into that matte color, the smoke color, and do that on the outer third. And now I am going to go into the enhance color and go right over that, and then also bring that into, I'm going about 3/4 of the way across, and then I can bring it up and connect a bit. All right, I am going to take a few minutes to clean up this hot mess that I have made and put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll check back with you. I got myself all cleaned up and finished off my makeup. And so here's the final look. Clearly this is kind of a statement look. This is not a subtle look, but I also think it's not a super in-your-face look. I guess it depends on what you normally wear, but I could see this going really nicely for daytime or for evening. I went with kind of a medium tone on the lips and kept it a little more neutral on the cheeks just to stay balanced. So like I said, now I'm going to do the other 3 looks out of this palette. And then after those 3, I'm going to come back and show you something surprising, the relationship between the Starry Eyes to Hypnotise and the iconic palette. You're going to want to stick around for that. are the 4 looks out of the Starry Eyes to Hypnotise palette. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. Now I'm going to do a bonus comparison here for you between the Starry Eyes to Hypnotise and her Icon palette that came out this past spring. Here are the 2 palettes side by side. And if you look closely, there's some overlap. Let's take a look where some colors really overlap. I have numbered the colors in these palettes 1 through 12, and I used a full spectrum light and then took pictures. So here are the numbers 2 and 7, and you can see that those are almost the exact same color. Maybe the top one is a little more warm, but really there's hardly any difference between those 2 colors. Here are numbers 4 and 5. And again, those could be the exact same color. Maybe there's a little bit more rose in the upper one, which is the Icon one. Taking a look now at colors 1 and 3. All right, the top is a little bit more gold. It's a little cooler, but again, I think these could easily pass for one another in an eye look. Numbers 5 and 10. Here again, a subtle difference, but really not much. And I think when you put them in an eye look, you wouldn't be able to tell a huge difference. There are 3 shades here. It's number 6 out of the Starry Eyes to Hypnotise, and then numbers 6 and 9 out of the Icon palette. And yes, we have a matte and 2 shimmers, but really they are all in the same color story. And I think when you look across all of Charlotte's palettes, she loves these colors. So do I guess that's why I'm such a big fan of hers. But it's just interesting to see how much repetition there is. Let's compare the greens. Number 8 out of Starry Eyes to Hypnotise and number 4 out of Icon. Now, yes, those are different colors, but you know, they could be cousins, right? They're not super different. And then the other 2 greens, the shade number 9 out of Starry Eyes and number 4 again out of Icon. So are they the same? No, but they're in the same family. Let's compare the blacks, which are 12 in both palettes. So the one in Starry Eyes is a little softer. It's not quite as intense as the one out of the Icon palette. And I did do my best to apply the same quantity of eyeshadow. Let's take a look at number 7 out of Starry Eyes and number 1 out of Icon. Again, those could pass for the same color. Here are 2 more colors that are incredibly close. Number 3 and number 11, and they're both mattes, and really again I think they just totally pass for each other in any given eye look. Now there are 2 pairings that are actually quite different. In this one you can see the one from Starry Eyes is very much a champagne color, whereas the one out of Icon is a gold color. And then really the marked difference between the 2 palettes is here in the silver and the blue. Both of these are statement colors and unique to each of their palettes. I just think it's interesting to see the incredible amount of overlap between these 2 palettes. Thank you so much for joining me and have a really wonderful day.